فآمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. فاستجاب لهم ربهم أني لا أضيع عمل عامل منكم من ذكر أو أنثى بعضكم من بعض. فالذين هاجروا وأخرجوا من ديارهم وأوذوا في سبيلي وقتلوا لأكفرن عنهم سيئاتهم ولأدخلنهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ثوابا من عند الله والله عنده حسن الثواب. لا يغرنك تقلب الذين كفروا في البلاد متاع قليل ثم مأواهم جهنم وبئس المهاد. لكن الذين اتقوا ربهم لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها نزلا من عند الله وما عند الله خير للأبرار. وإن من أهل الكتاب لمن يؤمن بالله وما أنزل إليهم خاشعين لله لا يشترون بآيات الله ثمنا قليلا أولئك لهم أجرهم عند ربهم إن الله سريع الحساب. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. First off, just like to thank Sheikh Jafar Muhibbullah for being with us for these past few nights. This is his last night with us. There is no program tomorrow. The next program will begin Thursday, the usual time with namaz at 6:45. I'd like to thank Sheikh Jafar for being with us for these past few nights. We ask him to forgive us if there's anything that we've done knowingly or unknowingly. Please forgive us, inshallah. And upcoming events that we have is there's on December 10th with Mulana Abadi is being speaking in SBIA for Nawad for Milad of the Prophet. So please do recommend everyone to attend that, inshallah. And with that, I'd like to invite up our speaker for tonight for the last night. Please help me invite him up with a loud salawat.
Again, Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. For the well-being of the mu'mineen and mu'minat, particularly in this community and those who are in Karbala, another salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. A final and even louder salat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad for the hastened reappearance of Imam al-Zaman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. به نستعين. الحمد لله الذي جعل الحمد مفتاحا لذكره وسببا للمزيد من فضله ودليلا على آلائه وعظمته. ثم صلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين، أرواحنا له فداء. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله أخرجكم من بطون أمهاتكم لا تعلمون شيئا وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة لعلكم تشكرون. صدق الله علي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First and foremost, I give my condolences to each of you on the occasion which we have come to commemorate, and that is the 40th anniversary of remembering the Shuhada of Karbala, the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, his companions, his family members, and the captivity of the Ahlul Bayt thereafter. Inshallah, we will conclude our discussion that we started about the Jundul Aql, about the aids to the intellect. And of course, as we mentioned, that this is a topic which needs a lot of reflection. It is one of the hadith from Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam in Usul al-Kafi, volume 1, in the chapter of the intellect, hadith number 14. Of course, we have not been able to cover all of the Jundul Aql, but the aids of the intellect, but we've covered many of them, and we grouped some of them together. And the ones that we have grouped together, at least for our last two discussions, dealt with al-mudara, which we translated as diplomacy. That in Islam, how do we diffuse volatile situations? And we mentioned that there are certain qualities that a person must adopt from these jundul aql, from these aids of the intellect. First and foremost, justice. So whatever diplomacy we try to employ, it must be grounded in justice. Likewise, to extend a hand of peace, it should be based upon truth. It should be based upon, again, haqq versus batil, be based upon that which is right, and should not mix with anything that is invalid or anything that is false. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states in the Quran itself, in Surah Al-Baqarah, He says, لا تلبسوا الحق بالباطل, that at no point should you dress or you should mix truth with falsehood. So as we see that the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam, in their stance, whether it be in the time of Rasulullah, whether it be in the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, whether it be in the time of Imam al-Hassan or Imam al-Hussein or Imam Zayn al-Abidin or any of the Imam alayhim salatu wasalam, though they engaged with their society, they engaged strategically with whatever structure was there, they did so by upholding and maintaining justice, always standing on the side of truth, not mixing or convoluting truth with falsehood. Also, among those principles which we see in Islamic diplomacy or even politics as well, there's this idea of al-amana. Among the jundul aql, among the aids of the intellect that Imam Sadiq alayhi afdal he points out in this hadith. He says, al-amana, to be a person who is trustworthy, to maintain an amanat. He says that al-amanatu wa dhiddaha al-khiyana. So what aids the intellect, hones the intellect, makes it more sharper? To be a trustworthy individual. That if you're given an amana, that you safeguard that amana and then you return it back to the one who has given you that amana. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also states this in the Quran. He notes this idea, this concept of amana. He says that it is incumbent وَتُؤَدُّ amana ila ahliha. He commands us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has commanded the believers to return the amana back to that individual who he or she has taken it from. And of course, as we all know, we've read about the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that even before he began to deliver the message of Islam, the final revelation to his people, that he was called Sadiq wa Amin. Again, these are also two of the qualities of the Jundul Aql, to be truthful and to be someone who is trustworthy. And what exactly does it mean to be trustworthy, especially in context of what we're stating, that this amana, not only is it an aid to the intellect, but it also helps us in becoming or having this quality of mudarat, to be someone who is diplomatic, someone who is, again, able to diffuse volatile situations. In fact, it is one of the best qualities of anyone who is involving themselves in politics or any role of authority and position. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He speaks about an amanat in the Quran. In Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 72, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Inna aradna al-amanata ala samawati wal-ardi wal-jibal فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states that He has presented an amana, a trust, to the heavens and to the earth and to the mountains. But they refuse to take upon this amana. In fact, they also were frightened of this amana. وَأَشْفَقْنَا مِنْهَا. However, mankind accepted this amana, to take this amana on. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He describes mankind, إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. Subhanallah. So what is this amana? Of course, there are various interpretations among the commentators of the Quran. They say, well, it's the salat and the fasting and whatever has to deal with the sharia. At some extent, yes, that's correct. However, the most precise understanding of this amana is al-walayat ilahiyya, guardianship or divine guardianship. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He presented this idea or concept of wilaya, of guardian, to be the guardian and guard over that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has trusted in this world, in this creation. So the heavens and earth and the mountains, they refused to accept this position. However, mankind accepted it, that they would become, or at least try to become, the vicegerent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon this earth. Some have, alhamdulillah, fulfilled this duty and position as they should, as we see in the Rasulullah, as we see in the Anbiya, the prophets, as we see in the Imma alayhim afdalus salatu wasalam. And then thereafter, there have been some who lived up to that potential and many others who have not. But this amana is an entrustment. So anyone who goes forth and holds a position of authority, anyone who holds a position in politics, or someone who is a diplomat, he is responsible. That he has this amana to be an advocate for the people whom he represents. This is a trust. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again, this idea that this individual, a single individual, or even a group of individuals, are entrusted with looking out for the welfare and the well-being of those individuals who he or she represents. And not to betray them, not to do al-khiyana. This is a very weighty idea, a very weighty concept. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rightfully so, he says that mankind accepted this. إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. From one aspect, if that individual does not live up to that responsibility and protect and to safeguard and look out for the interests of those individuals who he or she is representing, then yes, they will oppress those individuals. They will be zalum and zalim. They will be someone who is an oppressor. That's from one aspect. From another aspect, if that individual betrays that trust, or even doesn't understand the magnitude of that trust, then that individual is jahilan, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes him, innu kana dhaluman jahula. And as we mentioned, or at least as Imam Sadiq alayhi wasallam, he states that al-amana is a jundul aql and khiyana is jundul jahal. So this verse also points this out very eloquently, that yes, if someone lives up to that trust, and they have increased their intellect, they have honed their intellect. But if not, then they will be among those who fall in a state of jahal. So this divine trust is something which we see that Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he also alludes to in his letter to Malik Ashtar. Again, because when Imam Ali, he appoints Malik Ashtar, the first thing that Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he tells to Malik Ashtar, after starting with the Bismillah and giving salutations on the Prophet, he says, Ittaqillah, be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, this is an individual who's being appointed to a position, appointed as an authority over others. So he says, be weary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your actions and your interactions and how you deal with the people. Then at one point, and it's very eloquent the way the Imam, he explains that how do you deal with people? So the Imam, he tells him, he says, treat people as you would want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to treat you. He very eloquently explains this. He says that you interact with people and you do to them, or you be with them, how you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be with you. Of course, there's a popular saying, we say, treat people how you want to be treated. But this is completely different. Because maybe some person has, again, you got different types of people. Someone may have some sort of issue, maybe low self-esteem or this. So, maybe they were bullied, so they're going to bully other people. But Imam Ali says, no, treat people how you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to treat you and interact with you. Why? Because we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Ar-Rahmanur Rahimeen. He's the most merciful. He's the most compassionate. He is just. He's upright. He's the sustainer. So he says, imagine that. And again, if we had individuals who were, again, in positions of authority And they had this type of mindset that, well, I'm going to interact with this person. Why? Because I want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to interact with me in the same manner that maybe a person may make a mistake. So I can't be too harsh with him. Yes, I can be just, but at the same time, in being just, if there's room to apply clemency, if there's room to apply mercy, then I will be merciful. Sabaqatu rahmatuhu ghadabah, as we know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that His mercy precedes His anger. So subhanAllah, if we interact with individuals in that way, especially someone who has been entrusted with such a great amana, such a great trust, and that is the lives, the well-being, the welfare, the health of those individuals who are under his or her authority, then the oppression that we see, the injustice that we see, the disenfranchisement that we see of others would not exist, because who would want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deprive them of mercy? Who would want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deprive them of, again, one of the most precious treasures that we may understand, that is paradise. So Imam Ali, he says, treat them as you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to treat you, and know that you have been given authority over people, and the one who has given you authority over those individuals, that he is, again, he has authority over you, and he is, again, observing you. And that is Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib himself. And he says, and the one who has given you this authority over people has someone who has authority over him, which is Allah. And Allah is watching him. So again, that position of authority is, again, ultimately under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's vision. And then he tells Malik al-Ash'ari, he says, if you understand this, if you realize this, he says, this will keep you from, or it will curb haughtiness. A person will not be arrogant and have pride that, oh, well, I've been given this, or have this authority over people, and it's just their free reins to abuse individuals. Why? Because if that individual is conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that responsibility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he or she will maintain that trust. Just as many of us, we may rent a car, and then whether we opt to have the insurance or not, the whole time that we have that car, let's say for example, if we opt, oh well, I'm not going to get the extra insurance that they are prescribing. I have my own insurance. But nonetheless, the whole time that you're driving that car, you realize that, well, I have to return this car the way I got it. That I can't just abuse this car. Sometimes of course, some people may drive it a little faster than which they drive their own cars, but nonetheless, the whole time that they are conscious and they are thinking that, well, you know what, I have to return this car, because if I wreck it, then I'm going to have to pay for it. Even to the point, something even as minor as gas. Okay, well, a lot of us, we go back, we know that, well, gas is like $2.30 a gallon, but if I don't fill this thing back up to where I got it, they're going to charge me $5. It's like, whoa, either pay $2.30 before I get there, or pay $5. And most of us were like, no, I'm not going to pay $5 a gallon. That's crazy. So we are conscious of that amana, and we realize that, well, this is a trust. In the same way that the lives of those individuals, the welfare of individuals who are under the authority or under the leadership of a politician, of a diplomat, they're in the hands of a person, of that individual. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he also outlines a number of things for Malik Ashar and how he should govern. He tells Malik Ashar, he says, to maintain justice in your administration, to be conscious of, or to consent, or take into consideration the consent of the people and what they are discontent about, that if there's something that the masses do not like, something that the masses of people, again, those individuals who you're entrusted with their well-being, that if they are concerned about something, then it is your responsibility, telling Malik Ashar, to listen, to not disregard what they're stating, to not disregard their concerns. He tells Malik Ashar, he says, and also do not give privileges to a few over the masses. That's, in other words, like you may have a small lobby, or you have a lobby that has special interests and they want something from you. Imam Ali says, no, do not buy into such lobbies and special interests, but rather look at what the people want. This is what you're entrusted with. And again, I mention this because among there's a report by the UN. They say that Ali ibn Abi Talib, alayhi salatu salam, has established, again, they examine different governments over time. And one of the statements by the UN says that one of the most just systems of governing was established by Ali ibn Abi Talib. And these are the things that he's recommending. Don't give privileges to a few and deprive the masses. Be concerned about what they state, the masses state. Imam, he tells him, he says, show gratitude for favors done. And then he says, and realize that the strength, this is interesting, Imam Ali tells Malik, he says, realize that the strength of your authority lies in just the common person, lies in the common people. He says, this is where your strength lies. That's with regards to this idea of amana, which is a part of mudarat. Also, among the qualities of the Jundul Aql that Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, he points out, he says, sincerity, wal ikhlas wa didduhu shob. That one of the qualities needed by individuals who hold a position of authority is ikhlas. He has to be sincere, truthful and sincere. If he promised something, and again, that promise should be based upon a principle of truth, a principle of justice. And when he promises it, if, again, this is a good thing with regards to the people and living up to that trust that he or she has, then should be sincere about it. Should implement those things, which is to the greatest benefit of the people. Another Jundul Aql, and again, that particular idea is worthy of its own lecture in and of itself. However, because of the shortness of time, we will not go into that. But it's pretty clear. Sincerity. The other quality, which is a Jundul Aql, is the aid of the intellect. The Imam, he states, وَسَلَامَةُ الْغَيْبِ وَضِدَّهَا الْمُمَاكِرَةِ. So salamatul ghaib, to be, or to have a healthy, innate nature. Salamatul ghaib. Meaning that a person's inner self should be pure. Should be not tainted or not deceptive, in other words. Because ضدها المماكرة. The opposite of that is to be deceptive, to be someone who is cunning. And unfortunately, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states that most individuals, with regards to that amana that He has given to mankind, that same amana that the heavens and earth and the mountains, they refuse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that innahu kana, when mankind took this, innahu kana dhuluman jahula. Part of that dhulm, or that oppression, sometimes it goes with regards to that individual himself or herself, or is oppressive to his or her own fitrah, his or her own nature, whereby they reject Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whereby they do not perfect themselves spiritually. And because they don't perfect themselves spiritually, or to the best of their extent, or strive for spiritual refinement, then they don't have salamatul ghaib, meaning that their inner self is not pure. And because of that, then when they interact with others, or when they have that authority over others, then they are oppressors. One of the things which is well known in history, that it was documented that Yazid, he was someone who didn't pray. He openly drank. This is, you can go to the Tariq al-Tabari, you can go to any of the books of history, that this was his character. This is also one of the reasons why the people of Kufa, they wrote letters to Imam Hussein. They said that, look, we are not going to make bay'ah, we would not live under the authority of this individual. He openly disobeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but yet he wants to claim that he is the Khalifatullah. He wants to claim that he is now in the position that Rasulullah was in. He says, how can we follow such a person? That he is not someone that, at least if he hadn't completely refined himself, at least be refined enough in your public interactions. But his public interaction was also, again, tainted. Not even salamatul ghaib, but not even salamatul zahir he had. That his apparent self was not even pure. It was not something that was appropriate. With the duhal mumakira, as Imam Sadiq, he states, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he alludes to this idea as well in Surah Al-Ra'd, verse 42. He says, وَقَدْ مَكَرَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَلِلَّهِ الْمَكْرُ جَمِيعًا يَعْلَمُ مَا تَكْسِبُ كُلُّ نَفْسٍ وَسَيَعْلَمُ الْكُفَّارَ لِمَنْ أُقْبَى الدَّارِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is very beautiful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he states that before you, those individuals, meaning those who rejected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says that they made their plans of deception, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he also has his plan for everyone, for everything. And he knows what every soul acquires, what every soul has earned for itself. Then he says, and those who disbelieve, that they will understand and they will realize liman uqbaddar, that who will have the final abode, or who will also inherit this earth. It will become clear. Allah will make it known. And that will be those individuals who have diplomacy, practice diplomacy, but based on these traits and characteristics that we mentioned, that their base and their principle is justice, that they have a foundation in truth, they are, again, protecting that amana, that trust, what they've been entrusted with. And again, you have to return, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He commands you to return the amana back to its ahl, back to those who have given you that amana. So in other words, those individuals who take those positions, as Amir al-Mu'mineen, he points out to Malik al-Ashtar, that you will be questioned by Allah, that how did you treat the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How did you treat this creation? As also the Jibreel, we mentioned before that Jibreel, he told the Prophet Muhammad, he says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, Dari khalqi, that can interact with my creation in the best of manners. Be concerned about them. And we'll end on this point that, again, what is the objective of diplomacy? That quite often, if we look at how diplomacy is defined in the Western world, they say that one of the reasons why you practice diplomacy is to have a strategic advantage over the person that you're interacting with. Again, persuade them to act in a certain way or to have a certain behavior. Have a strategic advantage. But this is only dealing with this world. Why? Because beyond that, to have a strategic advantage or persuade people to do what you want them to do, then the realm of that and the scope of that is only this world. Whereas in Islamic diplomacy, the objective is, as Imam Sadiq, he also points out in the Jund al-Aql, he says, al-Qiwam, that one of the Jund al-Aql is al-Qiwam, to establish justice, to be upright, to maintain justice, to bring about prosperity, as-sa'ada, or is Qawam وَضِدَّهَا al-Mukathara. In other words, Qawam, which is establish justice, and not to just gain worldly positions or worldly possessions. This is not the objective. And this is why we see that the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam, that whenever they interacted with the establishment to whatever degree, it was in order to maintain justice. That this was always the objective. Their diplomacy was based on how can we promote justice and maintain justice. And this is why we have and we commemorate and we remember Imam Hussein, when we remember the events of Karbala. We remember after 40 days the Arba'een of Imam Hussein. It's stated that as the Ahlul Bayt, when they returned to Karbala to remember their shuhada on the Arba'een, that they stayed for 3 days mourning the shuhada in Karbala. And then as they left, they were going back towards Medina. According to some reports, that one person remained behind, at least in Karbala, for a year, and that was Rabab. She stayed by the grave of Imam Hussein and her young baby Ali Asghar, mourning for an entire year. But the Ahlul Bayt, they returned back to Medina to give to Medina and to begin the majalis of Imam Hussein in Medina, to tell the individuals who remained behind in Medina that what happened in Karbala, what happened in Kufa, what happened in Sham. It was reported that when the caravan was close to Medina, it said that Kulthum, she began to recite these verses, again, as an introduction to what was going on in this journey of theirs. She stated, مدينة جدنا لا تقبلينا فبالحسرات والأحزان جينا. That she was saying that, oh Medina, Medina of our grandfather, Medina of Rasulullah. He says, how can you accept us in the state that we have come back to Medina bearing sad news? خرجنا منك بالأحنين جمعا ورجعنا لا رجال ولا بنينا. She's saying that, oh Medina, that when we left from you, when we left out of Medina, that we left with our menfolk, we left with our entire family, but now we are returning back to Medina, and we don't have our menfolk. We're returning back to Medina, and we no longer have our sons. That she's saying that we are coming back into Medina after the martyrdom of Sayyid al-Shuhada, after Imam Hussein, that we lost Imam Hussein in Karbala, that we lost our Ali Akbar, Ali Askar, we've lost Abu al-Fadl Abbas. We have no longer have our children with us, our menfolk and our young men, that they are all left in Karbala. That even on the way that some of the daughters also have died. This is what Kulthum, she was saying as she entered into Medina. They said that Zainab Kubra also entered in Medina mourning the death of the Shuhada. They said that at one point Zainab Kubra, Salamullah alayha, as she entered into Medina, she went to the grave of Rasulullah. She went there to give her salutation, saying, Assalamu alayka ya Jadda, إني ناعية إليك ولدك الحسين. She was saying, Assalamu alayka, salutations, my peace be upon you, my grandfather Rasulullah, that I have come to give you the sad news about your son al-Hussein, that he was shaheed in Karbala, that your son Hussein was martyred on the plains of Karbala, that in that moment that he was martyred, that he was not even given water, that for days the caravan was without water. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم بحق هذه المجلس الحسينية اغفر ذنوبنا واستر عيوبنا واقضي حوائجنا واشفي مرضانا وارحم أمواتنا وعجل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره والمستشهدين بين يديه وتحت لوائه بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآله وسلم.
Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. Brothers, please come forward for the matam. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Go back, O mother, they've killed my brother. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came, everyone. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Go back, O mother, they've killed my brother. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When the night fell on that desert camping, a lonely voice was heard in moaning. Then she looked and saw someone approaching, one would you join her in her grieving. She had come to see her progeny and what had become of their destiny. But she could not let her go closer. She did not want her to really see. I do not want you to go further. You will only see pain and horror. Body with no head, 72 dead. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Go back, O mother, they've killed my brother. When Fatima came to Karbala, before you were born, my loving daughter, I was shown this by your grandfather. He told me what was to befall my son and how it would be a tragedy. My brother told me of this day as well. I knew what was to become of me, but even then I could not stand witness when I saw Shimmer walking to him. My mother, you can not bear to see what they did to his broken body. Arrow in his heart, liver ripped apart. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, Zahra, go back, O mother, they've killed my brother. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. O mother, when he stood and addressed the people who had now turned on him, he cried and shed the bitterest of tears. I never saw such a thing from him. My brother, you who define what is brave, how can I stand to see you crying? I cry not for what shall happen to us, but that the cause of their doom is me. Even in his final moment, he could only think of their torment. How could they kill him? He came to help them. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zahra, go back, O mother, they've killed my brother. Zainab's look, Ya Zahra. Then her mother's eyes began to wander. Another body she had to see. A new grave had been dug in the morning. A young infant in there was buried. There lay the young Qasim, son of Hassan, and next to him the older Ali. But it was Ali Asghar she came to, the one they killed in his father's arms. What was the sin of this poor child? When the arrow it he had wailed, he cried, I'm thirsty. Had they no mercy? Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Go back, O mother, they've killed my brother. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
السلام عليك يا نبي الله. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا صاحب السفينة. السلام عليك أيها المدفون في المدينة ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا بضعة رسول الله. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين وقرة عين الرسول ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين ويا عصوب الدين علي بن أبي طالب وصي رسول الله ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا إمام المتقين أيها الحسن بن علي، يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله وعلى أرواح التي هلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليكم جميع شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم أئمة المعصومين من ذرية الحسين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك وجعل الله من أعوانك وانصارك والمستشهدين بين يديك وتحت لوائك. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Please recite a Surah Fatiha for all of the mu'mineen and mu'minat, especially those who have provided the tabarruk for these programs and established these programs. Please proceed by a loud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, please do remember to pick up the trash after you, and then the brook that was left for us, please do remember to take yours. Do not leave it in the hall, inshallah. Programs will begin again next Thursday, inshallah, with namaz. Salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.